Hi, I'm Eric D'Amato,
And I'm Classic Gamer.
and welcome back to Let's Play Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror.
Yes.
So,
Right, do you want me to show you? eh,
let's talk to Nico.
Yeah.
Talk to Sarah Connor here.
Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? You must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something? Would you like a biscuit?
Gourmet dog? Have you been eating those things, Georges?
Sure, they're great.
George. I thought it was canon that you chose to die like a man, not like a dog.
Guess what this is? Go on, guess.
It's wrought iron, probably from a chimney stack on an old stove.
Well, I suppose it could be. How did she know that?
My grandfather used to work in a foundry.
Also, she's also an adventure game protagonist, George. She knows these things.
Yes.
Take a look at this,
Indeed.
Nico.
That's disgusting, Georges. Why are you carrying it around with you?
I don't know. I just can't seem to part with it. Take a look at this.
Take a
An
look
eclipse
at
of the
this.
sun. Why the sudden interest in astronomy?
I found the cutting in Ubier's house.
Apparently, it's only visible from Central America.
Take a look at this.
Mon Dieu! Where did you get that kind of money?
It's not mine. I found that statement at Ubier's house.
Now, I don't think it's actively illegal, but I think it's something to be showing people other people's banking information.
Well, you've seen nothing yet.
Do you have any theories about this stone?
I think that design represents a dog, a Mexican dog.
So, this is the sacred Chihuahua stone? Sheesh.
George, can you not say anything without... Can you go one game without you being racist?
Now, when you exit the conversation, examine Nico. Just look at her.
It was Nico, wearing clothes I'd never seen before.
I kind of miss the purple dress and black and leather jacket look from the first game, though.
Well,
That
at
was
least they
nice.
both have changed their clothes rather than being the same clothes throughout the whole game.
Well, to be his previous clothes were last games, but different color. He was just a palette swap. He was player 2, George Stobart, if it's a
Right.
fighting game.
I'm gonna show you this Easter egg I told you about.
All right, Easter egg.
So go and examine the goat.
Now, I like most animals, but experience had made me wary of goats, and cats, and dogs.
Now, you might think this bit weird. Use the coal on him. And watch.
What was that? It's a lump of lucky coal.
The fuck?
Coal? I would have preferred chocolate. Any flavor, so long as it hasn't got marzipan in it. God, I hate marzipan. You can talk. I mean, you're a talking goat. Keep your voice down. This is between you and me, right? Well, I guess so. Now, I mean it. You tell anyone you've spoken to me, and you'll be cursed.
Your reaction was priceless.
Why does the goat talk like Andy Rooney?
I don't know.
Because
But
you know who
I
he
don't-
sounds like? Not necessarily Andy. Have you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No.
It sounds like the main guy from It's a Wonderful Life. Let me check. Not Andy Rooney. Wonderful Life. Bailey. James Stewart. Goat sounds like fucking James Stewart.
No, when I asked you to do that, be honest, were you thinking, why is he making me use a coal on a goat?
I don't
happen?
question adventure game, but I didn't know to talk to the goat.
But do you know what, right? I only knew about that Easter egg a few years ago. I've played this game multiple times, completed it multiple times, done it on my channel at least twice, and I didn't know that.
It looked to me like an early portrait of Orson Welles.
Oh, so it's Castro. Cool.
In Quaramonte, defacing a poster was probably a capital offense.
Okay.
So I'm
Go
just
over
gonna talk to and investigate everyone, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
A couple of musicians stood watching life go on
When you
around them.
talk to the
They
guard
looked pretty depressed.
by the gate, save before you talk to him.
Got it. That's not the guard, is it?
No, the guard's by the gate, by where you came through the dock.
Yeah.
Do you recognise that woman to the right?
Yes, I do.
Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Wasn't expecting
Why
us
was
to go
Miguel put
anywhere,
in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
So this is weird. Usually, in every other adventure game I've played, especially Gabriel Knight, the protagonist will have the good fucking manners not to interrupt the band. But no, we've interrupted the band, and we're just talking to them. And we found out one of them's in jail. All right.
I think they stopped playing when they saw us, though.
Yeah. That George has that effect on people.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
8 pesos an hour, sorry, miss accidental clicks.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Jesus Christ.
Would either of you guys care for a biscuit?
A dog biscuit, senor?
Are you trying to insult us?
No, really, they're good.
We'll take
Yes.
your word for it.
He is trying to insult you.
Okay, George, can you... It was one thing when we were showing everyone everything in our inventory. That was one... Fine. But now this is getting, like, weird why that's an option with everybody.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, senor.
Me neither.
Have you seen anything like...
I, the hungry chief.
Why are you carrying that thing around with you, senor? Don't you know who it is?
No. Do tell me.
It is Tezcatlipoca, god of death and blood.
Mayan and Aztec god names. I had to try to type one out once.
Oh god, that was fun.
One of the episodes of Shadow of Zorro, because it's Huitzilopochtli.
What?
Huitzilopochtli.
Yeah, that's just as bad as Tezcatlipoca.
It's saying something when Quetzalcoatl is one of the simplest, and it has a Q and 3 Z's in it.
Oh, you've seen nothing yet with
What do you
names
make
in
of this
game.
little worm?
No good. It's dead.
Sure it's dead. You think I'd carry it around in my pocket if it wasn't?
Yes.
Take a look at the design on this label.
I have seen that before.
Where?
There was a ship flying a flag just like that.
When did you see this ship?
3 months ago. It was here, at the docks.
I wasn't expecting the band to be such a font of relevant information.
What was the ship with the Condor flag carrying?
I don't know, senor. We weren't allowed near the docks.
That's right. Usually we meet the ships when they tie up.
We play to the tourists.
Well, when the Condor ship came in, we were told to go away.
Fascinating.
Do you guys know anything about a total eclipse?
What is it?
It's like when the sun is hidden by the moon.
He's crazy.
My cousin Alfredo swears he saw it happen once. But that was after he stupidly consumed a cocktail of peyote and antibiotics.
Both at the same time?
He should be dead.
Good God.
That's almost an overdose. Almost.
Like, usually the only danger from peyote comes of you doing something fucking stupid when you wander off into the desert in your having your vision. But mixing it, don't mix peyote with anything. Don't mix anything with anything. Fuck. Hell, don't mix beer and wine together, let alone peyote and antibiotics.
Who would mix beer and wine?
I don't know.
The
A
guy
crazy
was selling
person.
fish.
Let's buy some fish. Knowing George.
Do you have crabs?
No, only fish.
Knowing George, I can assume something.
Do you know how wrong that sounds?
Yes. I'm surprised he didn't slide. It's probably because he doesn't know English that well. But knowing George, I can assume one thing. Nico is carrying all of the money. Because what kind of nonsense would George buy with it, knowing what he carries in his pockets?
Nice fish.
Thanks.
If, by some remote chance, I ever need a fish, I'll be back.
Now, out of the ground, this should rise up, and like the fish should be pushed to one side, and fucking Arto should come up and say, "No fish, you buy kebab."
Do you recognize this statue?
Si, senor. It is very, very bad luck. That is Tezcatlipoca, the Night Hunter.
I know, but I don't believe in luck, good or bad.
You may not now, but you will.
The guy looked scared out of his wits.
Go away.
George, you do believe in luck. You took you shoved a piece of coal in your pants because of that.
The woman had an impressive display of gourds.
Ooh, gourds.
Those things are gourds, aren't they?
Si.
Hey, mind the footwear, lady.
You got a spittoon, dude.
You can talk to her again.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to spit like that?
Si.
Fair? Fair
You
enough.
think I want to swallow that crap?
What I mean is, it can't be doing your business any good. I'm sure you'd sell a lot more gourds if you didn't.
Nobody ever complained before.
Okay, I can see I'm not getting through.
I personally think it would have been funnier as, do you have to spit like that? C. End of conversation.
I wasn't gonna get anything out of the gourd lady except spit. The guy wasn't showing much enthusiasm selling his wares.
I think this probably is one of my favourite parts of the game, to be honest.
Talking to this bloke?
Yep, talk to that bloke.
Hi.
You wanna buy something?
No, not really.
I got cabbages. Buy a cabbage, senor.
I don't think so. I didn't come all this way to buy vegetables. Listen, have you heard of Condor Transglobal?
No. Buy a cabbage. I'll give you a discount on both purchases.
I'm not into cabbages.
This guy is not Arto. That's all I can say.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Aye, Tezcatlipoca. Put it away, senor. Tezcatlipoca brings nothing but evil.
The poor guy was so freaked he didn't even mention his cabbages.
Now
See
talk
ya.
to him one more time.
You change your mind. You want to buy cabbages after all. How many you want? 2? 3?
None.
Don't come crying to me if you die of scurvy.
He wasn't gonna be any help.
Cabbages? No, cabbages don't prevent scurvy. I think you might be confusing cabbages with oranges or limes, sir.
The old woman was preparing a food that consisted of ground maize and lots of spittle.
Huh.
Another one that spits. Lovely.
Hi. Lovely bread.
¿Qué?
Bread, pan?
Sí, pan.
Maybe I'll come back later when I'm hungry.
Right, talk to her again.
Do you recognize this statue?
Por Dios! Put it away! You will bring bad luck to Quaramonte.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What worse luck could you have than George Stobart being here?
Go away! You carry the curse of Tezcatlipoca.
Okay, I know when I'm not wanted.
Ah, you can't ask her about the Condor Leal. It doesn't matter.
She probably didn't have anything important to say anyway.
The man
Or she
was
goes,
puffing away at a crudely
She's seen
rolled
it somewhere
cigar.
before, but it could be on TV. She doesn't remember.
Go away!
Hi there. What have you got for sale?
¿Qué?
I said, what have you got? Oh, never mind.
Oh, the guard is the one by next to the barrier.
I see him. I've marked him. I'm avoiding him for the moment.
Okay.
Until we're done fecking around.
Fair enough.
No, faffing about. That's what we're doing. We're faffing about. That's a great expression.
George Stobart, well, of all the...
Mrs. Henderson. Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
When you've been married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an Army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA, but wasn't sure. She was less obviously deranged. Is Dwayne here with you, Mrs. Henderson?
Why, sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Ah, gotcha.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoil sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right. And you don't want to go on your own?
Well, there's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around to take my picture.
Why don't you join Nico and I? We can go to the pyramids, take your picture there. Be fun.
Is Dwayne still working for the CIA?
If he is, he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. He used to think he worked for them, but the psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
What? I feel there's an entirely different, possibly more interesting game about Dwayne and Pearl. Like they might be better main characters than George.
What brings you to Quaramonte, Pearl?
What takes me just about anywheres. The market.
You drove 2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the Great Design, George.
Fair enough.
What do you make of this stone, Pearl?
Oh, that's pretty. What's that thing supposed to be, a rabbit?
I believe it's a coyote.
Well, it sure is cute.
I was surprised she didn't ask me where she could buy one. What does this mean to you, Pearl?
What cute little feathers. Why, if you had two of those, they'd sure make nice earrings.
This isn't intended for frivolous personal adornment, Pearl. It's a dart, tipped with a fast-acting, muscle-numbing poison.
Pardon me, I stand corrected, honey.
Sometimes I got the feeling that communication with Pearl was like sending signals out into space. Maybe, if you waited long enough, you'd get an intelligent answer back. But it was a long shot.
George, you are the worst conversationalist ever. You pull random shit out of your pockets and ask people what they think of them. You're no one to judge. You...
Oh god.
That's not...
We have to do more LPs together where the game that you hate the main character.
What do you make of this statue, Pearl?
Hoo-wee, that's a spitting image of Dwayne's brother Sheridan. A little less body hair, maybe, but it's him all right.
How would you know about the body hair? I've just read.
Went to the pool?
Would you... I don't know if she means full body hair or just top hair.
Well, I'm just thinking like they went to the pool or the beach or something.
Yeah, well, maybe.
You know what kind of unfortunate swimsuits American tourists wear?
No.
You don't want to know.
Oh god. Yes, I don't want to.
Look at this, Pearl. A tequila worm.
Don't you bring that thing anywheres near me, honey. I swear I'll scream like a hog on a hot plate.
Take a look at this news cutting, Pearl.
You'll have to read it to me, George. I left my specs in a gay bar in Santa Barbara.
Well, it's about an eclipse of the sun, which is due to occur in a few weeks' time.
You'd think the government would warn us about these kind of things.
It's not dangerous or anything. Apparently, the best place to view the eclipse is right here in Quaramonte.
Oh, my.
She didn't appear to be the slightest bit interested.
I'm sorry. She left her glasses in a gay bar in Santa Barbara? what was she doing at a gay bar in Santa Barbara?
Catch you later, Pearl.
Don't go in the police station just yet.
Wasn't going
Go off to the right. Okay, cool.
I recognized the woman immediately. Last time I'd seen her was in a market in Syria. It was Pearl Henderson, the globe-trotting bargain hunter.
Is it just me, or does whatever that is look like a helmet from an RPG? Like you'd find you'd find that in Diablo for the Barbarian or something.
I don't know why, but it looks like something from Full Throttle. I don't know why I think that.
Dwayne!
It was a beat-up old wreck of an army truck. It was Pearl's husband, Dwayne. Stealing trucks wasn't my style.
Yes, it was.
So, when I first played this game, I got stuck in this location for ages. Because when you first play this game, when you do this particular part of it, it's not of it. You have later on, it turns out you have to rescue someone. And to do that, you have to get something to help you bust them out of jail, basically.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not. But how you go about doing it is not immediately obvious. So it took me quite a while to work this out. Bearing in mind, this was back when the internet was very early.
Hey, Mr. Henderson. Good to see you again.
Do I know you, son?
George Stobart, remember? In Syria? I sold you a statue.
I remember that. Pearl was mighty vexed when the paint came off.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll give you back the $50.
No, you suckered me fair and square.
Fair enough. Nice approach. Like if you were good, if I was dumb enough to fall for it, I deserve it.
Are you still working for you know who?
You know I can't talk about my work, George. That's between me and Uncle Sam.
You had something to say?
Yeah, remember I said to you that you'd find out about the statue in the last game?
Yeah, man, we found out about it.
Yep. That's why I didn't tell you what happened. I think you kind of guessed, and I kind of was like, you'll find out in Broken Sword 2.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
He's the man behind Condor. and the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first time I met you, I was deeply impressed with your naive simplicity. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Quaramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been imprisoned just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
Now, as someone who was once stuck on a subway with two guys playing Despacito on accordion, I do think some people should be jailed for playing certain types of music. At least where others can hear.
What's the real reason the musician was imprisoned?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. Marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
I spoke to Pearl earlier.
Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way she handled the wheel, you'd think she'd been trucking half her life.
Why did you bring a huge truck like that?
George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam.
Awesome.
This truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
How did you get this through various minutes? Oh, he's making it up. Got it.
Would you like a biscuit, Dwayne?
Oh no, those gourmet dog snacks bring me out in a rash.
You've tried them?
They were on special offer. Pearl bought a whole crate. When I asked her if she was thinking of keeping a dog too, she just laughed.
He's not joking, by the way.
I know. About the bomb?
Nope.
Or the dog biscuits?
Nope. About the stuff in the truck. He's not kidding.
Oh. Okay.
Would you like to borrow my lucky piece of coal, Dwayne?
What's so lucky about it?
Well, we made it to Quaramonte in one piece.
When you've been here a few days, you won't look on that as luck.
Made a goat talk to us.
Do you know anything about a shipping company
Sounding
called
like Jimmy
Condor
Stewart.
Transglobal?
Sure I do. You have to get up pretty early to catch Dwayne with his pants down.
What? You beat me to it?
Condor Transglobal is all wound up. Seems like my investigations scared them off.
What do you think of these panties, Dwayne?
Lord, hot stuff, George. You buy those for your girl?
No. A guy we know in Paris bought them for her.
Oh, you're a threesome then. Why are you looking at me like that, George?
Forget it.
So, when you go in the police station, and the tourist
Who's
information
a friendly
office
looking
as
guy?
well, it doubles as both. There's someone in there who then stands by this truck. So what he's just told you, some of like the mission he's on and stuff like that, he won't say all that in front of the person standing in front of him. So you either have to wait till after that person's gone.
Or do it before like we did now.
Yes, or do it before like we've done.
I'm gonna talk to the man. He looks friendly.
Yeah, he was the one that got pulled out the mines.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Oh, that would... got it.
What can you
Yeah.
tell me about the mining company?
The general closed down one of their mines after the explosion. Lots of folks lost their lives. I was lucky. I only lost my legs.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
That's obsidian. It's a volcanic rock which has cooled so fast that...
Yeah. Look, I'm not interested in geology.
You're not. I suppose you want to know about the carved picture on it.
That's right.
Then the guy you should talk to is the professor.
There's a
He was
professor?
here a while ago.
I'm assuming UBA?
Do you know what this
You'll see.
statue represents?
Should do. I used to carve things like that to sell to tourists, but it scared people around here, so I stopped.
Do you recognize the design on this label?
Why, sure. That's the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company logo.
Do they have an office in Quaramonte?
No, but they ship out from here.
That's what I thought.
I didn't know that was going to end the conversation.
Well, I tried to click on this, but I clicked on that.
Did you see the ship with the
Oh.
condor flag?
No.
But the dock is just the other side of the square.
Might as well be the other side of the moon.
George, you do know he's got a building in front of his view of
Yeah,
the
but he's on that little
docks.
board with wheels.
Exactly my point. But how
Have
would
you
he
heard
see
about the eclipse
something?
of the sun?
Sure, I'm having a party to celebrate it. Drop by.
Really?
Thank you.
Sure. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, and everyone's invited, except the general.
Fair enough. Thank you.
What do you think of these panties?
Awesome. You wear them?
No, someone sent them to my girlfriend.
Thoughtful.
Oh, thank you.
If you just go around that way, it'll just bring to the other side of the building. But you could say it's a shortcut, but it does do a nice pan of the area, though. You can go up in the mining company first if you want before you go in the police station.
Should we talk to
Going
the
in-
guard or no?
You can talk to the guard, but save it before you do because you can do two different options.
Okay.
But if you want to do that bit first, you can.
Hey, Nico!
I think you're going to like this character in here. She'll probably be your favourite one so far. in the
redhead?
game. Yep, the redhead.
The one who looks almost exactly like the receptionist from the hotel, but with red hair?
Hola, señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Have you heard of a man named Karzak?
No? Who is he?
He's the reason we came to Quaramonte. We think he's running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
I noticed something worrying in this office.
What?
Who does that look like?
I don't know.
It's Pablo.
Oh, no, it's not Pablo.
Alright, because that's also Pablo. They all look like Pablo.
No,
Where's
it's not
the
Pablo.
site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Would you like a dog biscuit?
Would you like a smack in the mouth, Chico?
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I think it is a spirit stone carved by a Mayan priest, no? I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
So is she your favourite character so far?
Not quite.
I thought she would be,
Oh,
considering how
she's
she's talking to George.
She's going to be really upset at George.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death and pestilence. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
Is pestilence the other word of like pests and stuff like
Plague.
in crops?
Pestilence is plague.
Okay.
Disease and anything like that.
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I've no idea.
You see this? It's my lucky piece of coal.
What's so lucky about it?
I'm not sure yet.
He's got no
Nice
pants.
buns.
Why is he not wearing pants?
You'll find out when you talk to him.
Okay.
Have you heard about the forthcoming eclipse?
I don't take much interest in things like that. One of the boys might know about it.
Would you be interested in these
Oh, fuck's
panties?
sake, George.
They look about your size.
Is that your best line, Chico?
I'm serious. They were an unwanted gift.
Put them away before you get overexcited.
Now it's your favourite character.
Yes, she's getting up there. She's no Nijo, though. Nijo's still the best. Nico must not be very happy about George flashing her panties to everyone.
I think quite possibly there might be a boy in this game that might beat Nijo. Might. But he's not till later.
It was Conchita, the owner of the mining company. It was a store cupboard.
Keep out of there.
I take what I want when I want. I'm George Stobart.
That's where the explosives are stored.
Oh, fascinating.
Yes, that will come into
Now-
effect a bit later.
Conchita, you're saying two very different things. You're saying keep out of there. But you're also saying that's where the explosives are stored. These are mutually exclusive. I must have your explosives.
A disgustingly handsome man. I couldn't understand why the female owner had surrounded herself with men like this. The guy was working away like an automaton.
I'm gonna bother everybody.
Are you looking forward to the eclipse of the sun?
Not especially. Are you?
I don't know. I've never seen one. All I know about eclipses is that you shouldn't try to view them with the naked eye.
Please. Go away and let me get on with my work.
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
Can't you see I'm busy? If I don't finish this stock report, the boss will be mad as hell.
Ever hear of a guy called Karzak?
No, sir.
Did you know there's an eclipse of the sun in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, Joe told me about it. He's having a party and we're all invited. Me and the boys are dressing up as evil monks.
Yeah? Cool.
We've had a little too much experience with evil monks.
True.
Do you know anything about the eclipse?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I heard it's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's in a few weeks' time, isn't it?
9 days.
Thanks. Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
No.
Well, they're very helpful.
There's one more person to talk to.
Yeah, Mr. Pantsless McGee.
It was one of Conchita's posse of hunks.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in Quaramonte City, may I recommend the Consolidated Mining Experience, an interactive hands-on tour of one of our deepest mines, with talking tour guides available in 3 different languages.
A tour of a mine.
Well, this is a mining company. What else did you expect?
He sounded very quiet when he first spoke.
He did.
Do you know anything about the eclipse that's due soon?
Me? No, senor.
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzak?
No, senor.
How come you're not wearing any pants?
I feel more alert without them. Kind of perky.
And your boss doesn't mind?
She suggested it.
So sexual harassment. She is committed.
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
So are we done here?
Yep, we're down here. It's the other way. That's it. Ladies first, George. So I think in this game you probably will have already worked out that Karzak is basically the main antagonist.
Yes.
But
he's not
for
the
me-
guy we saw with the blue mask in the opening cutscene.
No, he's not. That opening cutscene was actually back when they did. It was a Mayan sacrifice, like back.
Oh,
years
that's
ago.
not still ongoing.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
So the pyramid you see is part of the game. Obviously, it's the location. I will tell you that much. But the scene you see, because at the end you see him like stab the guy and then pull out something.
His heart,
Obviously,
presumably.
it's heart. So that's showing off the kind of like an idea of what the game was about and what they are sacrificing to and what that place is becomes apparent later.
Is it Duder here?
It is to do with him, yes.
All right.
So Karzak
police
is
station next or guard?
You can do either one. It doesn't really matter.
Do we need to save before entering the police station?
Huh?
Do we need to save before entering the police station?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Nico!
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor. With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavations. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Senor. Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. My name's George Stobart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
Fair enough.
I can see that, General.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
No. No, I never heard of him.
I detect a lie.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Is it true
of
there's a
deaths is a bad
restriction
thing.
on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
One thing I do love about what this game does is at certain points, and the first game did it as well, but if you notice that when he goes easy listening, the music changed to some good music track. I think that's one thing this game does actually get right in quite a way, because the music does sort of come in at good points.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quaramonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour, when he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Ubier.
A
visitor, senor, like yourselves.
Did you say Ubier?
Si, senor. Professor Ubier, a French archaeologist.
You know who I think Ubier might be inspired by? Have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
Belloc.
Is that the antagonist of that film?
Yes. He's the Dr. Jones, once again we see there's nothing you can possess that I cannot take away. Who drinks the wine with Marion?
What's Ubier doing in Quaramonte?
Researching our... The professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins.
Researching glorious
He came to
past.
see me to get an excavation permit.
Don't,
Would you like a biscuit?
Are you trying to bribe me?
Well, every man has his price.
Mine is more than a dog cookie, Senor Stobart.
That smile really gets on my nerves.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
That's a native carving, isn't it? Where did you get it?
It doesn't get on my
picked it up
nerves,
in the
but I do
market
find it
as a
intensely
souvenir.
threatening.
It's
What
almost
do you
like
think of these panties, General?
Oh boy, fabuloso.
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
I told you. I never heard of the guy. Do I get the panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing. Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
The lady at the mining company told us a ship belonging to Condor was here recently.
Conchita Garcia is crazy. If there had been a ship, do you think I wouldn't have noticed?
No. I don't
Are you
think
sure
would've
you
noticed.
never heard of Condor?
I'm sure he'd lie to
yes.
us.
The company is registered here in Quaramonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
The musicians out in the square say that a ship flying the Condor flag was birthed here.
They are simple peasants. They will go along with anything you say in the hopes of parting you from your money.
Condor is run by Karzak, isn't it?
Wrong again, senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor, whoever he is.
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quaramonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records were destroyed by a flash flood.
Convenient. What's going on over there? Is he playing a video game or something?
You can examine everything after you spoke to him.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
I'll be back.
Before you do, though, try going down the back passage. That sounded really wrong.
To the prison? To the cells?
The prison.
I
Yep.
wasn't going to try investigating the passage while the General was sat there.
Okay, fair enough. You can't. Try
It was
examining
General
the chart.
Graciento, Quaramonte's reigning slime ball.
What do you want me to investigate?
The map on the left. That's it. The chart. Try going over to
It was the
and
map
examining
which
it.
the General had been showing to Professor Ubier.
Because if you don't examine it, then you don't get it as an option.
Senor. Leave that chart alone.
Now you can examine all his stuff.
It was a computer monitor with some kind of outdated game displayed on it.
It looks like...
I didn't have time to get sidetracked by playing computer games.
I don't know what it looks like. It looks like you know the thing you get at the bottom of the screen where you shoot up, like Space Raiders, is it called?
Space Invaders, yeah.
Space Invaders, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is. I think it is Space Invaders.
The television was showing what appeared to be a low-budget soap. A tall man with long blonde hair was shouting at a woman who was naked apart from a towel. I decided to leave the television switched on.
You might be able to look at the safe behind him. There's a safe to the right of him.
A safe was tucked under the desk. The safe was undoubtedly locked. He had the eyes of a cocker spaniel set in a face like a deflated souffle. I couldn't help wondering what had driven him to work for a man like the General.
You don't choose
So
your
obviously
commanding officer when you're in the military.
Obviously, the
A
objective
filing
here is
cabinet stood in the corner.
To look at
get
the
rid
chart.
of them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to look at that, you need to get rid of them both.
The filing cabinet was probably locked.
You can talk to him if you want to.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
I'd like to visit your prisoner.
Condemned prisoners aren't allowed visitors.
Condemned?
To death. He is to be executed. Knowing my luck, I will probably have to shoot him myself.
Amnesty International is going to hear about this. I thought Miguel was arrested for playing the wrong kind of music.
Si, senor, he was.
And that carries the death penalty?
No. You think we're crazy? While being questioned, he confessed to being an anti-government agent.
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. The General would have a fit if I left all this paperwork.
Would you like a gourmet dog snack biscuit?
I would love one, senor, but I would have a problem with my teeth.
Toothache?
No, senor. If the General catches me eating on duty, he'll knock them out.
Do you recognize this statue?
Tezcatlipoca, the night wind. Take it away, senor. That stone is cursed.
You know anything about this eclipse?
No, senor. El General keeps me in the dark about most things.
Was that an intentional pun?
So long.
I don't know, actually.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
Interesting.
I'll be back.
So, anything else in here?
Nope.
Gotta get them out.
Yeah, we've got to look at it at least. You automatically talk to Nico when we come out.
Why did you show him the stone?
I thought maybe he might know something about it.
Well, he does now, for sure. He knows we have it.
Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the general didn't want us to see it. You came on a little strong with the general.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe, but that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. That man we saw talking to the general was Oubier. Didn't you recognize him?
I never met him, remember? The guy I called in Paris claimed to be Oubier, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
Nah, it's too much of a coincidence that he's here in Quaramonte.
So that's all the time we have for now. We're going to try to get into the police station next time, after we talk to the guard. But until then, I've been Merrick D'Amato.
And I've been Classic Gamer.
And we'll see you next time for more Broken Sword 2. Ciao. Hi. Thanks for watching. This has been played, edited, and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato.
And he's been helped by me, Classic Gamer.
You can find a link to Classic's YouTube channel, Classics Gamer, and his Twitch in the description below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.